So today I'll be going over Mickey from Blood Brothers, and I will be showing you key vocabulary, quotation analysis, and a waggle you can include for your essay. Yeah, so here are the keywords that you will need to write a paragraph on Mickey in Act 1. This is during his childhood, but the last word I have there, disillusioned, you will need this word in Act 2. If you were to get an essay on Mickey in Act 2, you would use this terminology and say how he's defeated and almost has lost all hope and faith in his employment and family and life due to his social status. So now I will show you some quotation analysis. But before I do that, I just want to give you a quick overview on who Mickey is and how he is portrayed during the play. So on this box here, you could clearly see that I've highlighted how you should track the character. Obviously, that will allow you to show the examiner that you know the planning of the play. And on the other box, I've shown you how he is presented as a product of the working class. You could use this first box here as your opening slash overview, and then here point number 3, you are mentioning how that is Russell's main purpose. So so he portrays Mickey in a certain manner to display how there is consequences, how there is a consequence of class division in society, or the consequences a um of a class inequality in society. Okay, so you could use this as the writer's purpose, and then you could use this as a way of summarizing what you will talk about in your essay. So that is number 2, and then number 1 is just how he's presented. You could just throw in some adjectives and you'll be perfectly fine. But one thing I could add, or you could add to number 3 is this idea that instead of just saying Russell uses Mickey to show the consequences of a class divisive based society, you could just say that Russell uses Mickey as this social mouthpiece. So here is a more summarized writer's purpose for your opening paragraph. This is your introduction. You will only use this for your overview. If you don't get time to write an overview in the exam, you could just use this at the end of your essay. So on your or you could use this on your last paragraph. So instead of using it in your overview, you just use it in your last paragraph. Again, using an overview and conclusion is not really essential. Just make sure you show the examiner that you understand the play and you're answering the question without waffling. So here are the 10 steps you should use when constructing your paragraph. So here are the 10 steps. Just have a pause, have a read, and now I will show you how you can apply apply these 10 steps when constructing a paragraph on Mickey in Act 1. So here is the paragraph. I will zoom into the paragraph, but I would just like you to jot down these 10 steps, and then I'll walk you through how I've used all of these 10 steps within this big chunky paragraph here. So let's go. Okay, so to start things off, I begin my paragraph on saying how Mickey is a product of the working class. That immediately links to step 1. So this here is step 1 completed, which was just a link to the question. And then I also go on to mention and contextualize the quote by saying on this paragraph here, the second paragraph, I wish I was our Sammy. So this is me contextualizing the quote because I've mentioned how he is a confident young 7-year-old, and then he is naive, and therefore he wants to be like our no sorry he wants to be like his older brother Sammy. Then I go on to use some terminology, some ambitious vocabulary. So you can only use these type of vocabulary where it's actually needed. You can't just plug it in anywhere. So I would recommend here in this paragraph, you could say that despite the fact that Sammy is a delinquent and is a negative role model, Mickey still sees him as a sort of father figure, because remember, Mickey does not have a father in his life. So he sees Sammy as his father figure, and therefore he kind of wants to imitate his behavior. So you could mention that. And then this perhaps that I'm using here, you need to use this. It will get you marks because you are giving an alternative interpretation. So here you are giving an alternative interpretation, and that fills in the success criteria in terms of giving layered meanings in your analysis. So you need to use this word and give okay, yes, on the one hand it could mean this, but also perhaps it could also convey this. So you are giving two layered meanings to your quotes. That's very crucial in getting those higher marks. Then you could put in more supporting quotes. So as I've done here, you could just pause the video and read this paragraph. So as I've done here, I put in one quote about how he says loads of words like the F word, and then I've also put in another quote to just emphasize my point and to just highlight to the examiner how he uses this sort of colloquial language. Now, if you don't know what colloquial language is, basically a form of language which is sort of informal and it's like everyday speech, mostly used by that of the working class. Then you could talk about how after you put in your supporting quote, I would recommend you link back to your supporting quote and then zoom into a specific word. So here I've used the word in it, so I've zoomed into the word in it, and then I've just gone on to do more analysis of how this can be compared to Edward, where he uses formal language, and whereas Mickey is kind of stripped of this formal way of speaking and communicating, and that just portrays his working class. After that, I've gone on to mention how this use of language could foreshadow where Mickey will end up in the future compared to Edward. So I've talked about how Edward will aspire to go to Oxbridge, and whereas Mickey will be left alone in the Dole. I've not included the quote Dole here, but just for your sake, you could also use the contrast of Oxbridge and Dole. So Dole is basically a place where workers go when they don't have a job. So they're basically being laid off by their employer. So you may be wondering why I'm mentioning these quotes as they are like in the future parts of the play in Act 2. The reasoning is because if you mention quotes from Act 2, you are linking and link them to Act 1, you will get higher marks in that aspect. Okay, so this is the paragraph you would write for Mickey in Act 1. I hope this was useful.